Yesterday, you would have heard me announce the announcement of the ban on ride-sharing apps. I just want to make it very clear that this matter is a matter of national security risk to the citizens of this country, and that takes precedent over any other situation. So I just want to put that in perspective before I continue to explain where we are, and to say to you that I have a responsibility as Minister of Transport to protect each and every citizen of this country. Within hours, there has been several rideshare companies who we have not been able to contact for months, neither the police in their recent investigation of the unfortunate murder of the school teacher, and all of a sudden, everybody is coming out of the woodworks. So it has had its effect in terms of getting everybody onto the table. As we speak, there's a meeting taking place at the Transport Authority with the steering committee and members of the local transportation sector, including those who have apps or have designed apps, and we'll be working through with them. In relation to Uber, as I said before, I understand that's a very popular rideshare app. And I can say, as I said in Parliament yesterday, that they did come to the table with me 6 weeks or 8 weeks ago, and they have continued to be in touch with the Transport Authority, working out certain protocols in relation to their platform and how we can access information for security checks, etc., to satisfy ourselves. So I think that one will also be resolved. But the bottom line is that as Minister, I had to do what I did to basically draw a line in the sand and bring everybody together and make sure that at the end of the day, we have a situation where the government of Jamaica is protecting its citizens, and also those who are doing business in Jamaica are following the rules and regulations set, and that include fare structures and otherwise. So I do believe that in the coming days, weeks, we will be able to resolve most of the issues, and I don't see this situation as an open-ended situation, because it is in nobody's interest to have the rideshare apps not accessible for the convenience of the commuters and traveling public in Jamaica. So once again, I just ask for a little patience and to let you know that this has my full attention to make sure that we can find a resolution to deal with this matter. As we speak, there is a meeting scheduled for this afternoon between the Solicitor General and the lawyers for the telecom companies, along with my ministry officials and the police. And we will keep you informed in relation to what the final outcome in terms of the way forward on this matter. So this will be my second update. I'm trying to do a daily update in relation to the ride-sharing app situation that I announced in Parliament on Tuesday, because I realize the importance of getting things back to normality, but in a safe way. So this morning, I ordered that a meeting be held between the Transport Authority and several other government entities, including the police, to have a look at the situation as it relates to the local ride-hailing operators and, of course, the overseas operators such as Uber and InDrive. Coming out of this meeting this morning, I have been sent a brief, and the recommendations being considered are as follows. Local ride-hailing operators to engage only registered PPE drivers and vehicles that satisfy Transport Authority requirements. The ride-hailing operators are to submit the requested particulars of the operators for review at earliest. So the ball is in their court. Further to that, the Transport Authority will submit its recommendation to the Honourable Minister in respect of these ride-hailing entities that are complying with the current legal licensing arrangement for both vehicle and drivers. So that puts in the checks and balances in relation to monitoring and having a list of both the vehicles and, of course, the operators of those vehicles. The authorities, meaning the Jamaica Constabulary Force and the Transport Authority, will also indicate to the Minister those ride-hailing entities that meet the security standards for the provision of ride-hailing service. And of course, at that point, they will be released to continue their activities. They are already far down the wicket because they have been in constant touch with the Transport Authority. So as it relates to the local ride-hailing operators, I don't think it will be very long before they will be able to restart their apps. As it relates to the international ride-hailing operators, they will be required to register a business in Jamaica and have representatives in Jamaica to engage the Transport Authority and other local authorities. The international ride-hailing operators should engage the Transport Authority to facilitate the vetting of vehicles and operators for fit and proper purposes. Uber remains the only foreign-based provider to have engaged the government of Jamaica, and we are in receipt of a proposal, a detailed proposal from Uber, from the head of public policy for Central America and the Caribbean, Uber. So we're dealing with them at a very high level, and this was as a result of a meeting that I had with them when I summoned them so many weeks ago. The proposal that they have sent to regulate ride-sharing services in Jamaica includes two documents: a regulatory proposal for ride-sharing services, including requirements for the transport network companies, vehicles and drivers such as insurance and safety verification, and an analysis of the general framework for ride-sharing services, including best practices and lessons learned from different countries and states around the world. So they have put in this document to me how they intend to regulate fares for the taxi in meeting with the fare structure that is imposed by the Transport Authority in Jamaica and the validation of taxi licenses. So again, I think we're far advanced with Uber. I'm aware that just today there was a 2-hour meeting between the Transport Authority and Uber. And I believe that in terms of the concerns that we have, we will be able to take care of that and get Uber up and running in short order. Anybody who contacts us that represents a ride-sharing app, we are going to give it priority to make sure that we meet with them so that they can understand our concerns. I hear the argument being posited that these apps are traceable and trackable so that you know who picked up the person, you know where they went, and you know where they were let off. That can only help you in an investigation after the fact, after the crime has taken place. What I'm trying to do is to make sure that we don't need to get to that stage, because we would have vetted and made that possibility less by knowing who it is that are operating these vehicles for these ride-sharing apps. So again, I just ask for a little patience. I know that it has implications for many persons who use it, but I just want to say national security must come first, and the safety and security of our citizens. And if we can prevent one more incident, unfortunate incident such as what happened to the teacher who took a transportation option from one of these ride-sharing apps, then obviously it will be worth the inconvenience, it will be worth the frustration, it will be worth the anxiety. And I do have a responsibility as minister to take the tough decisions, and I am prepared, and I did. And again, I do not expect this to be a protracted situation. We are going to deal with them as they come in and move assiduously to get them back up, because we do not want to interfere with their business. We are a business-minded government. I'm from the private sector. I'm a business-minded person. So I understand the interruptions. But in this case, national security must come first. So again, I say to everybody, be very careful in relation to how and what transport options you use, not because it is convenient, does it mean it is safe. What I want to do is to make sure we put in the guidelines to protect each and every user of these apps. I thank you.